All right, well, let's bring in Dr. Ben Carson, former House and Urban Development Secretary and Emeritus Professor at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. Dr. Carson, thank you for joining us. I think we've all seen so often Joe Biden, and what the evidence points to is that there has been some decline of some variety for Joe Biden. We see him falling up the stairs of Air Force One. We see him tripping over sandbags. He can't get through a speech without a teleprompter. So let me ask you, what about the idea of some sort of a mental acuity test that could be applied to candidates running for many offices, but certainly could be applied to running for president of the United States?
Well, Laura, it's always good to see you. The fact of the matter is, we in the medical profession are very aware of what the early signs of cognitive decline are. Problems making decisions, following a conversation, doing familiar tasks, judgment issues. And it's obviously very important that you be on top of your game if you have an important job. There are cognitive function tests that are very easy to apply. We have something called a mini mental exam. It takes about 5 minutes and asks you to do simple things like count from 100 down to 0 by sevens. Gives you 3 objects to repeat, and then ask you about 2 minutes later, what were those 3 objects? Simple things that anybody who's functioning at a significant cognitive level would be able to do, but they can detect those early signs of cognitive decline and certainly should be required for people once they reach a certain age. We do that in many other areas where we have people doing important function. Commercial pilots are not even allowed to fly after age 62. So obviously there are issues that we recognize that require high cognitive function. I would think President of the United States would be one of them.
Well, one would hope that would be considered for sure. I want to get your take on something here. Listen to what Joe Biden had to say whenever he was asked about Senator Mitch McConnell.
I spoke to Mitch. He's a friend. He was his old self on the telephone. Having a little understanding of dealing with neurosurgeons, it's not at all unusual to have the response that sometimes happens to Mitch when you've had a severe concussion.
What do you think as a doctor, what are we seeing happen to Mitch McConnell? Are you concerned? Do you take what Joe Biden had to say there to heart?
Well, it is true that when you have concussions, you sometimes in the recovery phase will have these little brain freezes, particularly if you're older and may have some microvascular changes going on in your brain. They sort of compound together and cause that. In between those episodes, you should be completely back to your normal self. And a physician would need to do an examination to determine if that's the case. Having said that, someone who's continuing to have problems like that in a very important position is a cause for some concern.
Absolutely. Well, it's concerning that he is making big decisions for this country. Dr. Ben Carson, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura.